So anyhow, I'm going to my 45th class reunion this evening. So I did graduate from high school when I was 3, so that makes me 48. But I was the class president, but I did not set up the reunion, or have I set up any of the reunions since I've graduated. The reason I ran for class president to begin with, it was a joke. I was the class clown. I mean, you would never guess, but the one girl was a real snob. You know, she had been the class president for freshman, sophomore, and junior years, and somebody said, so X name, because she is the kind of person that would sue me for using her name, are you going to run for senior class president? She goes, well, of course I'm going to run. You know, one of those kind of girls. You know, she was attractive, but just a snob. And they said, well, you think you'll win? And she goes, well, who's going to beat me? And one of my wise-ass friends goes, hell, Andrews could beat you. And she goes, Andrews? And then it was on. So I ran just for shits and giggles, and the senior class advisor was banging this girl's sister on the tennis team. He was one of her students, and he was a senior class advisor, so he hated me. He didn't want me to run or anything. So I figured they'd have it in for me. So we put monitors in the office. We asked the principal if we could do it. Put monitors in to make sure they were counting the votes and stuff when the voting came around. And it was me and her and this other girl, who was a pretty decent girl, but she was a little, uppity as well. And at the end of the day, I ended up winning. And I actually, the girl that's been planning these, and there's a couple other people too, but she was actually the student council president, really smart as a whip. She's a big time lawyer now. But I actually asked her to be the class secretary, and she did anything that wasn't like complete fun. She did, anything that required any intelligence. And I did shit like picking the class robes, for graduation. And I'll tell you this quick story, and then we'll go. But I was sitting there with Jostens, and they come in, they have all these different robes. Well, for 50 years or 100 or however long the school had been around, it's always blue for the guys and white for the gals. So a different color, blue and white, because that was our class colors. That was the school colors, blue and white. And so I'm sitting there, and the guy's showing us all these different robes. Well, what about a navy blue and an off-white? What about a light blue and white? And so me, after about 20, he goes, well, I've really kind of exhausted all the options here, and you haven't given me a color. So I said, what? He said, what color, are you partial to? And I said, what do you have in silver and black? because I liked the Raiders, because they were the bad boys of the NFL, the Stabler and all those guys. And he goes, what? So I picked the silver and black, and the principal called me. He goes, Tim, I'm getting all kinds of phone calls from parents and everything else. He goes, I know you're the class president. That's part of your job. But he goes, I cannot do silver and black robes. He goes, if you want to do black and white, I'll let you do that. But I can't let you do silver and black. So we ended up going with black and white robes. The only time ever in the history of Chippewa High School that hasn't been blue and white. So our class slogan, and I made this up too, of course. I don't know if you remember the Neil Young song, Out of the Blue and Into the Black. Dun, 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 bump, bump, bump. Well, listen to it. But anyhow, that was a song. And so that's what we had T-shirts made up that said Out of the Blue in blue letters, and then Into the Black, because graduating and going out into the thing. But that's, that was the whole class president story. It was a big joke, but I had a really good team around me. I had the President Trump team of high school students surrounding me. So they were all very, very smart and very good. And I just did the fun stuff and took credit for everything. But no.
Do they give you a hard time because you're the president and you're not doing shit?
Yeah, I'm sure they I'm sure they think so. That's the whole thing. It was kind of insanity in high school. We'll talk about that when we come up with the deviant high school student podcast. Definitely some unexplained phenomenon there, but actually not really that unexplained.
All right, I'm going to stop this.
All right.